And the fact that he can't feel attracted to her anymore is normal. That's how he should feel in reaction to that, because no man wants to be with a woman that has shared her body with another man. What's up, guys? It's JQ back with another dating story that was sent to me from Reddit. And this is a crazy story with an important lesson, so I think you're going to want to check this out. This post really points out the uneven viewpoint that men have when it comes to what men and women are responsible for within the relationship. And it kind of highlights the impact that feminist thinking has had on men and how they have a hard time even seeing when their girlfriends should be responsible for something and when they should get rid of them. All right, so our author is a guy, he's 24, and his 27-year-old girlfriend left with their son after finding out that he was unfaithful. Can we come back from mutual betrayal? Okay, the backstory. I met my now ex about a year and a half ago. We started dating November 2024, and I found out that she was pregnant by January of 2025. So that's just 2 months into dating. At the time, I was 22 and she was 25. When she asked for my opinion, I told her I loved her, but I didn't think we were ready financially or mentally. And look, that is normal. Most people would not be ready. That doesn't mean you should or shouldn't do it, but obviously 2 months into a relationship, you barely know somebody. And so you wouldn't be able to evaluate whether the girl was a good choice for you in life. Of course, you want to avoid getting a woman pregnant unexpectedly, but let's see what else he had to say since that happened. She took that as a rejection and told me she'd raise the baby alone. We eventually decided to stay together and keep him, but the foundation was already shaky. Now, I'm going to read between the lines here. And so essentially what it sounds like is that she threatened to just take the baby and deal with it herself because he indicated that he wasn't sure whether they should do it. That to me sounds like a ploy to make him commit to her. Because otherwise she would say, you know what, I want to keep it and I'm not sure whether we should be together, but we'll figure it out. We'll both be in each other's lives. Bum, bum, bum. The first betrayal. So 4 months in February 2025. Okay, this is just 1 month after she's gotten pregnant. He went through her phone. I found out she had been getting rides to work from her abusive ex-boyfriend for 3 months. Okay, now another quick aside here is that women often call their ex-boyfriends abusive. They use this word improperly a lot, and it is generally a way to avoid responsibility for something on their part. If he was abusive, why is she still getting rides from him? She claimed that she had no other choice, but I found texts where she told him that we weren't together and gave him hope that they'd reconcile. This is while she's pregnant, mind you. She also stayed that night at his house twice, and she swears nothing happened, but my trust was shattered. Okay, well, first of all, if your girlfriend stays the night at another man's house, that relationship needs to end right there and then. There is no scenario in which that is okay. Secondly, bro, I hate to break it to you, but she definitely slept with that guy. There's no reason why she would stay there. Otherwise, that is for sure what happened. And to think otherwise would be completely naive. I decided to stay because I grew up in a broken home and I desperately wanted a 2-parent household for my son. That's not a good reason. But the romantic spark died for me that day. I didn't want to seem like I stayed a little over a year in complete misery, though, because that's not true. Me and her are best friends. She takes great care of our son and the house. Okay. Fast forward to recently, she went on a trip with my family. And while she was gone, I made a huge mistake. Got on Snapchat and exchanged nudes with 2 girls. It was a one-time thing. I deleted the app and the contact shortly after, but the damage was done. Why was she going on a trip with his family that he wasn't on? That just seems really strange. Yesterday while I was at work, she went through my iPad at home, found the photos, and blew up. In a panic, I put my devices on lost mode to stop her from digging further or sending my private info to others, which made me look like I wasn't remorseful. During my lunch break, we talked and I made things worse. I told her the full truth, but I did it at the worst possible time. I told her that I hadn't felt the same since she was talking to her ex during her pregnancy. I admitted that I'd been playing the part of a happy partner for the sake of the family, but that I'd been struggling with my feelings for a long time. She was completely blindsided, moved out with our son, and says she's done to good. I want to just make a note here that there's a couple details about this story that seem strange. I mean, I'm not an expert. I don't use Snapchat, but my understanding is that the whole point of Snapchat is that the photos aren't stored. So I'm not sure why there would be photos from Snapchat stored on an iPad, but I guess maybe he saved them, but I thought you couldn't do that. I thought that was the whole point. But setting that aside, there were nudes from other girls on his iPad that she found, and now she's moved out. The dilemma. I know that I messed up. I have a struggle with porn and seeking validation that I need to address regardless of what happens, but looking at our history, it's been a cycle of broken trust from the start. I wanted to give my son a stable home, but I feel like we've created a toxic environment. Is it worth trying to get my family back through serious counseling and honesty, or is there too much resentment on both sides to ever have a healthy relationship? All right, well, first of all, anyone watching this, you don't need to go online and ask for opinions on this stuff, okay? If this guy wanted to get her back, he could do that. Should he get her back? Absolutely not. This girl cheated on him. She was spending time with her ex while they were in a relationship, and she slept over at his house, and I guarantee you she slept with him as well. That should be grounds to never allow her back into his life ever again. And the fact that he can't feel attracted to her anymore is normal. That's how he should feel in reaction to that, because no man wants to be with a woman that has shared her body with another man after they got together. Period. If he didn't feel that way, it would be weird. He would be a cuck if he didn't feel that way, if he was fine with some other guy banging his girl and he was just fine to go along with it. At least it's normal for him to feel that way. But the problem is that he should have ended the relationship there and then. He's allowed it to continue. Obviously, he's not fully into it. Obviously, his mind wanders somewhere else. Sending nudes to someone on Snapchat is, while you're in a relationship with someone else, is not a good idea, and does constitute a break of trust. With that said, it's not nearly as bad as her hanging out with her ex and spending the night at his house. What I also want to point out here is he says that in February of 2025, he went through her phone and he found out that she had been getting rides to work from her ex-boyfriend for 3 months. So that goes back from February, January, December, that goes back to November. That's basically the same time that he and her met. So this guy also needs to get a paternity test to see if this child is even hers, because she was hanging out with her ex and spending the night at his house at the same time that she got pregnant. So there's no guarantee that the baby is even his. See, and this is what baffles my mind about this, that this guy could be such a dumbass that he hasn't even connected these dots and even thought about it. In no way should he be in this relationship, and he should be questioning whether the baby is even his, and he needs to find out, and hopefully it's not, so he can just GTF out of there and not be responsible for this entire situation. But through this feminist culture that we live in, men have been so brainwashed to think that they need to be responsible for everything. He might be raising another man's kid. He might be cucking himself right now. And instead of just ending the relationship and moving on with his life, here he is on Reddit looking for advice. And I can guarantee you that the reason he's actually doing this is he wants validation that to stay in the relationship. Usually when people come on and they ask these kind of questions, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for somebody to tell them that it's okay what they're doing. As evidence, I replied to this guy, and because this post was just made a few days ago, so I replied to this guy and said, you need to get that GTF out of there. And he didn't respond. So he is clearly back in it. I'm sure he's working things out with her as we speak, and he probably hasn't figured out whether the kid is hers, and he's just going to let her back into his life. Gentlemen, it is so important that you learn to be strong. This behavior from her is not acceptable whatsoever, and you need to develop and know your own value in such a way that you would never stand for a woman behaving this way in the relationship. You, aren't going to get a girl pregnant two months into knowing her. Number two, you are not going to be okay with her hanging out with an ex at all. And of course, not staying over his house. Both of those things are grounds for removing her from your life immediately. Number three, he should not have continued the relationship and stayed in it, because of course, he's not ever going to feel the same way about her, nor should he. He could never feel the same way about a woman after the trust has been broken like that, after she's been dicked down by some other guy. No. Guys, you owe it to yourself to level yourself up in such a way that you are a man of value and you stand for proper feminine behavior from the woman or women that you choose to include in your life. That's what I've got for you today. If you'd like help on how to do that more quickly, you can set up a call with me through the link in the description below. I've also got my free email newsletter for more information, weekly updates, and information about my upcoming retreat. Be sure to subscribe, and if you like this video, check out either of the other two. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video.